We're on YouTube Live. Hey, this is Seasons Pharmacy and Culinarius, my friend Renelle. Why are we here on a Friday night? Because this girl works every day, all day long, and she's available Friday night. So guess what? I'm staying late, and Ren's staying late. Renelle Tousignant, so she is the chef's gardener.
I
am. We met the first time because you walked in here, and you were very excited about salad greens. I feel like it was
I don't know. I was
springtime.
excited about everything.
And
I was excited about meeting you.
Anyways, it was so cool because I had just opened the store. You were one of the early characters in the play that came in here. So Renelle is a really good friend of mine. She's a musician, a brilliant musician, married to a brilliant musician.
He is.
And they've done a lot of really amazing things with Seasons Pharmacy and in the community and with your songs.
We've even
and
played
everything
here.
else. I know you played here at one of our parties.
That was one of the
Bush Bash, I
best
think.
shows we've made. Oh, that was a fun one. You had a good crowd.
We had a good crowd.
You know good people.
I know a lot of good people. Anyways, we're here tonight on a Friday night. Anybody else is like not busy on a Friday night, they could be here watching us.
They should be doing the same thing, step by step. Whatever we do, they do.
I don't know, but we didn't give anybody warning. But anyways, what we're doing tonight is we're going to make crème brûlée.
Crème brûlée.
With some very famous ingredients because Renelle in her spare time is also raising duck eggs.
Yes.
She's also running a homeschool pod in Marks Day, which is pretty fantabulous. So if you live out on the east side and you would like to put your children in a more tailored to their specific needs style of educational program, Renelle is running a beautiful program out there. But they live on this beautiful farmette, and these are duck eggs. We sell these duck eggs. We've been selling them. Spring is a good time for duck eggs because in winter they're on strike.
Yeah,
on
they
strike.
are.
Ducks are on strike
They're
from about
not on strike right now.
November to whatever, March. They're on strike. But now they're like, we have a lot of duck eggs. So what's special about a duck egg?
A lot of things. The shell, for one, you got to give it a good whack when it's a really hard shell, and also it's about 1.5. Like if you look at this one, it's about 1.5 times the size of a large duck egg, of a large chicken egg.
Yeah.
And it's also got more albumin in it, which is why we chose it for this. Albumin also helps to keep things firm when you're baking, so it lifts more and it stays firm.
There.
And it stays there. That's right,
Yeah.
which is why it's great for this recipe. And I make this recipe. I feel like the grandmas were hiding something from us because this is the simplest recipe, and when you go to a restaurant, they charge you an arm and a leg for it. And ever since I figured out that I can make it in like 5 minutes, and then I have a fridge full of it, I eat it for breakfast. Like crème brûlée is breakfast, guys. If you don't put the sugar on the top and the torch, it's breakfast. Yeah. So
Milk and eggs. It's like
milk
pretty good.
and eggs
High
and
protein.
maple syrup if you have it.
Well, and we have it. We have like lots of maple syrup here because we love that.
We have a wonderful selection of maple syrup.
Yes, we do.
Yeah.
My friend Willard makes this one on an open fire.
Shall we maybe show the label?
Yeah, Willard is amazing. He's
Go
one of my
Willard.
good friends. Yes.
Willard, thank you for being with us.
Yes, and he taps the trees and then he uses maple in this open fire reservoir, whatever, evaporation pan thing. And I feel like you can taste the smoke in the maple syrup. Like it's so good. It's my. Listen, I like Seguin's too. Tracy does amazing, beautiful work.
Nice.
Yeah, I know. It's like they
that's
still, with all of his, 12 children, they're Mennonite, and they actually run through with the actual taps on the trees. I mean, a lot of people now, we have to automate a lot of things to be efficient in our world, but they still have the taps and the individual buckets, and they run around through the woods and collect all that. So yeah, that's how they do it. Anyway, so that's what we're gonna put in here. So this is a 100-mile diet. You ever heard of the 100-mile diet?
No.
Okay, so I read a book like 20 years ago. It's called The 100-Mile Diet, and the challenge was, could you eat from like just 100 miles from your house? And I thought,
Okay.
that's impossible. I was working at Loblaws. I was a pharmacist on the road. I was like, it's impossible to eat.
Yeah.
100-mile diet, impossible. Anyways, I made a meal, and it was like, oh my god, everything in this meal is in the 100-mile diet. And I think now most of my meals are the 100-mile diet. Almost all of my meals.
I thought you had to run 100 miles in order to be able to eat the richness.
No,
of
no,
it.
no,
Okay,
no, no.
okay.
No, but like these eggs grew on your farm. You're in Marks Day. You're less than 100 miles from me.
Yes.
And the maple syrup is, it's about 100, no, it's less than 100 miles from maple syrup.
go.
And, milk, we're dealing with Farquhar's and other local milk producers. So it's possible to get all of these things within the 100-mile diet.
That's fantastic.
I think it's pretty cool.
And it's super easy. So don't let those restaurants fool you. Sorry, restaurants. We know your secret now, and so will you in just about a few seconds. So when I get to having too many eggs, which is pretty much now, I make pretty much now.
Yeah.
I make a lot of this, and it's basically I make a double batch, right? So 8 eggs. Let's get cracking. 8 eggs, and give it a whack because they're duck eggs, man. Yeah.
Okay, so the other thing I noticed when I cook with a duck egg instead of a chicken egg is the yolk is larger. There's a lot more yolk than in a chicken egg.
Yeah.
And the white is whiter. A chicken egg has kind of a
Yes.
yellowish tinge to the yolk.
Yes.
No, not the yolk. The egg white. The egg white part is really white on a chicken egg, and if you put this beside it, you're like, oh no, that's yellow. This egg white is very clear.
Yeah.
The other one has a bit of a yellow tinge. So that's how you can tell. You can tell that you're eating a duck egg. If the shell is very hard.
1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6.
One more.
1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7,
Yeah.
8. I could have just counted.
You could have counted. Could have counted. You could have counted.
I gotta keep up with the speed you're talking at. Like, you are fast. I was always told.
Hey,
all
well,
my
you know
life.
what? We gotta get shit done, right?
Yeah. Move it. You said it was a fast recipe. All right, 8 eggs. This is a double recipe because why mess around? If you're gonna do all those dishes, you may as well do it for a reason,
That's right.
right?
A lot of people might come here tomorrow
Oh
and taste
gosh,
this.
we're
Why not?
slow. You know what? We would have had to heat this in advance.
Okay, well, we didn't heat it.
Well, we didn't heat it in advance.
All right,
We're
I'm
gonna
doing
have
the whole
stories.
thing. You pre-poured this.
No. Well, yeah, you can pour the whole thing and then we'll measure. So,
Well, how much do you need?
about half because we're gonna do cream too. So
Okay, so I need about half.
ish. I don't measure anything at home, and
It's a little bit more than half. I'm okay with that. I'm an artist too. It's fine.
Rashad told me as I got in here, hey, it was gonna be on camera. I'm like, I'm happy I wore something all right, and I don't look like a farmer.
I'm in a uniform.
That's good. That's good. So you're gonna pour all that cream in there. So this is what I found out about crème brûlée. I did not know because people call it custard too.
Yeah.
And chefs are going to correct me all over the place. Gates is going to walk in here and she's going to be like, what are you talking about, you farmer girl? And here's the thing. Anyway, this is what I found out. Milk in your crème brûlée makes for an eggier texture, which is fantastic because then you can eat it as breakfast, right? If you don't put the sugar on top and like caramelize it with the torch, you can just eat it like that. It is delicious. But it is eggier. So you can taste the egg. But when you put whipped cream and you don't you splurge on the whipped cream. Did you empty that?
I did empty it.
But there was a drop left.
Okay, well,
Okay.
we're going to empty it out of second.
So when you
I
put,
wish we had the Sheldon Creek cream here.
oh,
It's 45%. This is 35%.
that is,
And
how
it-
do you
and
get
it has-
40, who calculates that?
42. I don't know. They must measure it. I don't know. It must weigh it. If it weighs, I don't even know.
It just floats and floats and floats. Anyway,
Not
so
sure.
when you put cream in it, you end up with a creamier texture and the egg kind of disappears. So it just holds everything together. Some people will use just egg yolks. I just throw the whole egg in there because I don't have time to be wasting stuff. And honestly, I just throw all the eggs in there.
I think it's a sin, anyways, to separate an egg from its egg white. Like
It's
the
a
yolk
sin.
from the egg. I think it's a sin.
Well, especially in these eggs because all the nutrients. I mean, we give our ducks all our extra food, all the gardening scraps, and there's a lot of gardening scraps. Oh my God, all the grass clippings. There's a lot of grass clippings too.
They get
Oh my
all that?
goodness. So they do get a lot of nutrients. So there's a lot of nutrients in there. Honestly, like I wish my kids would eat this, but not really because they don't. I get more.
There you go.
And then we're gonna look at this. So we're gonna blend that.
Okay.
And then
Are you asking me to blend it?
Sure. Could you please, honey bunny,
Sure, okay.
blend that? It's a double batch. Typically, one batch will have a quarter cup of maple syrup, but I'm putting half because it's a double batch. Also, tidbit of information about milk. How hot are you warming it right now?
I just put it on. Not quite high, but pretty high.
Okay, so we're gonna run into trouble. So
I'm going to lower it.
no, because we're on camera, but we're gonna be scraping the bottom of that pot.
Well, I'll just stir it often. Here, you.
Okay.
Well,
Here,
here,
no.
Can you do that?
Yeah, milk, like the cow, will not be rushed, ever. You cannot rush milk, no matter what you do. If you try to rush it to heat it, you end up just, being
Burning.
delayed because you end up scraping the bottom of the pot. And you're not anymore in advance. So once you've got the eggs all scrambled up,
Do they have to be really whipped or just like...
yes, because you don't want, see how you have like I guess the camera should see this, how you have pieces of white
And
still
pieces of
left,
yellow.
pieces of yellow. You want that completely homogeneous.
Okay.
Yeah.
And does going at a faster speed help or does it matter?
No, because if you put it at a faster speed, now you're whipping air into it, and now you got a whole other consistency at the end, right?
So we're not trying to whip it for air.
No, you don't want to fluff it. You're just kind of, well, I don't. Again, a chef might correct me. I'm not a chef. I'm a mom. I'm a farmer. I get it done. And then I do the dishes. Lather, rinse, and repeat the whole thing over again. Okay, but the eggs are almost completely homogeneous. It's time to add the maple syrup. Like, where's the applause on this? Go maple syrup farmers. Thank you for doing what you do.
I made maple syrup once. Andrew was just boring. I had him in a backpack. I tied the backpack to a tree so he could watch. And I could
Okay.
use 2 hands.
Okay.
But it took so long to make the maple syrup. Like we boiled for
Oh, yeah.
hours and hours and hours. It's like, it's the last time I made it.
Yeah.
So now Andrew's 25. I've never made it since.
Do you mean like to actually make it from water or like to make it into taffy?
No, like we started with sap. We tapped our trees and then
Oh,
we
wow.
had a big thing outside and we lit fires for days and days.
Oh my God, that's a lot of firewood for.
It was, well, we were burning just brush from the wood. It was a fun project, you know, like, but I didn't do it again because it was too much work. So now I buy it from my friends who have better infrastructure than me.
You know, that's the thing I've come up to. The conclusion is this: is okay. So, I don't think we ever get rid of all the chunks in there, because unless you whip it vigorously, it's going to fluff up, and that's a whole other thing. So that's why we have a handy dandy little strainer. So at the end, when everything is blended, we're going to strain it as we put it in the ramekins.
Oh, is that right?
Yeah, because we're fancy that way.
Okay.
That's the end of my fancy though.
All right. Okay. So this is getting warm. Like it's
Is
warm.
it?
Yeah.
Oh,
Look,
that's warm
the heat's
enough.
coming. Is that
Oh
done?
wow!
Is it too?
I need myself one of those.
Okay, there you go. So I turned it off.
Yeah, that's
Right.
perfect. So it just needs to be warm,
Not hot.
a little,
Not boiling.
yeah, a little. Honestly, I'm rushing it because it should be a little warmer than that, but that's warm enough.
You want me to warm it more?
Let me stick my finger in there again. No, that's good. That's good. Okay.
She washed her hands. I promise.
I did.
I promise she washed her hands.
And there's
What do I
another
do?
trick that you need to know. If you're going to start this and you're following us, you're already behind because I didn't tell you the background stuff. You need to be boiling water. And the reason for that is the ramekins don't just go in the oven like that. They go in a Pyrex dish or
like that?
Or, if you really know what you're doing, in one of these. And so they sit in water. And that's part of the baking trick because, I don't know why, because...
We boiled this already, right?
Yeah. You did boil. That's nice and steamy. My gosh, things happen quickly in your kitchen. That's fantastic. Oh my goodness. I'm going to need your help for this part.
Okay.
Well, we can wait.
Okay, no, that's
You're
good.
doing your job. Okay. Because there's such a thing called tempering the eggs. So you can't just throw all the eggs, the hot milk in right away because what do you think is going to happen to the eggs?
They're going to curdle and cook.
It's a science experiment and they're going to curdle and cook. You don't want that.
We don't
So
want that.
gently, with all the love you got,
I'm pouring a little bit at a time.
stream it in, mama.
Okay.
Yeah. And then once you've got, I'm going to say about a cup in there, then you can keep going at a, like less of a steady stream, you can throw it in.
C'est bon là?
C'est bon là.
Look at that.
Ouh là là.
Ooh la la. Okay, c'est bon.
C'est arrangé avec le bas des vues, it all fits in there. All right. I'm still mixing on purpose because I don't want it to stiffen. Je veux pas que ça fige.
Fige.
Okay, do you have vanilla?
Oui.
I forgot vanilla. And do you have salt?
Oui.
Okay. I pulled up a recipe. I'm not following the recipe. I'm following my heart.
Also, Vancouver sea salt.
Ooh, Vancouver.
Smell like it?
Well, now it's like comes from the other end of the world, so now it like screws up the whole 100
I know,
mile
but we
recipe.
don't have salt available here in Ontario. I don't know where's our salt deposit, Bella. There's no ocean here.
throw it
There's
a pinch.
fresh water. Pinch. Okay.
Voila.
Voila.
And a little bit of
And
vanilla.
like something like that.
And I really think that's it. I'm gonna check the recipe one more time. But that
Okay, that's enough.
that's it. You could I'm gonna
We have to whip that in there, I think.
oh, that smells fantastic.
I like this.
Oh, yeah. Just in case I missed something, because that happens a lot. They were using sugar. I don't do sugar. No, that's it, man. That's it. Voila.
Voila. Okay.
And then we have to practice our
Pouring.
pouring skills.
We've got fancy ramekins today.
Look at these guys. Look at like so pretty.
Thanks, Deborah.
Thanks, Deborah. Is it Deborah? With
Yeah,
Deborah?
that's for Deborah.
Deborah?
Yeah, she brought me these.
Oh, go Deborah.
Hey, Deborah.
Love Deborah. I don't see you enough, Deborah. Hope
Okay,
you're
let's use
watching.
it. Do we need more than one? Look, I like these red ones better.
You want the red ones? Just gonna get
Okay,
fussy
I got
on me.
nice red ones.
Now we gotta dry all these dishes again.
No, it's fine. C'est parce que
But they're higher.
they're a little bit bigger.
You know what also works if you don't have ramekins, guys? Is I'm gonna walk on this
Jars,
side.
mason jars.
Mason jars, but I've done them in the this size mason jar.
Yeah.
This is a
But the wide mouth mason jar one, right?
yeah, the wide mouth. It's the same volume but smaller, shorter. Works wonderfully. So also then you can bring it to work in your lunch because you can seal it.
So do we think I need another tray?
No, I don't know. Let's see. Let's
Okay,
start
let's see.
pouring.
All right,
So
pour.
here's where you pour through the sieve. That's it. That's all.
I'm
Here,
gonna help you with
let's move this because they can't see your beautiful face.
Oh, that's blue. This is okay.
Here I am. Here I am. Okay. Ooh la la, c'est beaucoup. Ready?
I'm ready.
Oh. Yeah, let's do this over here, and then you won't have
Okay, well,
the egginess in the water. Bon, voila.
okay, well, we're going to just change our mind a few times about a couple of these. It's not, you know.
It's because when I do it in my kitchen, I don't have your equipment, so I don't think about it.
Okay.
Also, when I make mistakes in my kitchen, I'm not live.
It's okay. Listen, how do you think people are going to have courage to do things at home if they, that's what I don't like about cooking shows. Everything's perfect in a cooking show.
Yeah.
Sorry, life's not perfect.
And then there's no dishes. Like
That's
they
right.
never talk about the dishes.
That's right. There's no dishes in real life. There's dishes, and then there's mistakes, and you got to clean the counter.
Okay, this is not gonna work. Do you have? Oh,
I have an idea.
I
Did
have
we
it.
have that funnel? We had that funnel a minute ago.
No, a sec. Yeah, this is mine.
We have a lot of ideas. That's a fancy looking bowl, but it's maybe not practical for this.
No.
Okay, let's
Bon,
try
voila.
again.
Let's try this again. If not, I'm gonna skip the straining. Nope, that's beautiful. Voila.
Voila. Okay.
Prochain.
This is our bilingual show for today.
If you want French as a second language, I also do that because
Yeah,
you know,
she's teaching courses English as a second language.
I didn't have enough jobs.
So my daughter Emily graduated yesterday at St. Benedict's, and she won the award for French as a second language.
Fun.
Yeah.
Your children just win things everywhere because they're winners. Because they have a winner mom and dad. Honestly, her children are wonderful. If you need parenting tips, I would come in here.
I don't know. It takes a community, so it wasn't just me. I was busy working.
They're wonderful and they're beautiful and they're kind. Oh my
Yeah,
goodness.
it's graduation today.
Yeah, no, why are we making? Well, we're making this for them then.
No, I don't think she's coming home tonight.
Alright,
It's the
there you
prom.
go. Oh,
Graduation ceremony was yesterday.
Look at these. They're so pretty.
They're very pretty. Here we go.
I couldn't believe when I found this out. I'm like, why am I paying $8 to $12 at a restaurant for crème brûlée? My gosh. I know why though. I know why. Because it's all in the burning at the end. The sugar, guys. Yeah. That's a science experiment. I did bring the torch, but it's in the truck.
Well, we'll have to run out to your truck and get the torch.
We'll do that. Yeah, this works well. Okay, let's do this.
We already need more ramekins, see?
I told you it was a double recipe. Because if you're going to make it and do the dishes, you may as well just...
Make it all. And fire up the oven, you might as well.
Yeah. And then you're going to have one and you're going to want 6. So, because these are cute ramekins, but they're not very big. And here's the best part. There's nothing to feel guilty about. In the sense that you can eat it, and honestly, they're clean calories. It's maple syrup, milk, and cream, and eggs. That's it. Oh, I thought you had it upside down.
No, that's good. No, it's funny that one is a little shaped a bit different.
We did wash more. Did you want to do more?
Yeah, we're going to do them all. Okay. I just have to get this out of the way.
Okay. Ooh la la. You guys, you know where the party's at tomorrow. And also, that's the other thing. So you can eat it warm. That's fine.
Okay.
It's really yummy warm, but I'm gonna say it's even better cold. So the biggest, the biggest challenge is waiting till the next morning to eat it. So, yeah, for me. Shablam.
I knew I was saving all these little ramekins for something. I knew one day. But you know, there's not much. The strainers, everything's going through the strainer. You really did a good job blending those eggs.
I put all the love I had in my heart.
There you go. You can tell.
Ta-da.
You should never eat angry food. You should just eat loving
Oh
food.
gosh, I heard about that. I believe it. You know that the kings would never eat food that wasn't. That's why les seigneuries existed. See, this is why we strain.
Oh, the
Because
end.
right at the end is.
The end is like this clumpy, but because so far it's been really nice.
They would never eat food that came from anywhere except for what do you call them? Les colons. So they would go and pay people.
Let's just top up the
I don't
ones.
know if we can. They would pay people that were family men and women for their food because they knew that the people that were, raising that food and cultivating that food were doing it for their families. So they knew that the food was full of love and had a certain frequency. So they would only eat that food.
Amazing.
Isn't that cool?
I hope they furnished them with a lot of supplies for all this cooking service.
Oh my goodness, I don't know. No, but I mean, like, to get the supplies, I bet
Yeah.
they had their own cooks, but... Oh my gosh, she's filling
That's
them, she's
perfect.
filling them.
Oh yeah, there we go. Okay, that's it. We're done now. I
C'est
think.
plein à craquer. Bon.
All right, so now they go in the bain-marie.
Yeah. And you put them in the oven. So the oven was preheated at 325.
And then we use a bit of boiling water to put in here.
Yeah, so we're sitting them in boiling water. I don't understand the science of it. I just understand it when
I
it
don't
hits
know
my
if
mouth.
I don't know if I ever preheated the water in a very many. Apparently, in this fancy oven too, we don't need to do it this way, but
No?
apparently we can steam it or something. But I don't really know how to do it, so we'll do it this way. It's fine. We have another tray like this at your feet.
Jim! Goodness, this kitchen is so well organized.
No,
Do they fit exactly in there, like in the?
Yeah.
Oh my.
I want to take this thing out.
Ta-da! You can do magic. It's the light. And so that is the trickiest part, I think, is trying to figure out when they're ready. So they're ready when you shake it, and it's just, it kind of holds together solid. It doesn't even look like a solid yet. It's almost like it keeps cooking afterwards. I prefer to have it slightly crispy on top, so I do overcook them. But a chef would be totally unimpressed with me. But I don't have to sell it to anybody else, and my kids don't like it anyway, so I'm the only one eating it. Voila. So it's about 20 to 30. I would actually, those are short ramekins. I would leave that in there for 15 and then give it a good shake to see if it works.
We'll set the timer for that.
Voila. How many minutes did that take? I don't know. And I don't know, but it's not very long.
15 minutes. Okay, the timer's on for 15 minutes. Okay.
Voila.
Then, okay, you're going to explain after because we're not going to probably go back on camera. So
Okay.
when we take these out, you sprinkle a little bit of sugar on top and take the blowtorch.
That's it. That's really it. And it's quite a fiery experience. So sugar is volatile, and it made me realize like what's in sugar for it to light up like that. It literally lights up.
Yeah.
It's pretty impressive.
Well, I'm going to get to see that, but not everybody else will.
And be careful. You don't want to be hitting the flame exactly on the ramekin itself. You kind of want to stay away and right because you don't want
You're
to
only
give it a
trying to get
shock.
the sugar, you're not trying to heat the dish.
And if you're doing that when it's cold, you want to wait a minute because if you hit your cold dish with hot, of course it's going to crack.
Yeah, and then you'll waste all this beautifulness.
Yeah. Yeah. So again, cream is the key. If you
Cream.
don't put cream, it's going to be eggy and it's a wonderful breakfast. But if you add cream, you've
It's
got a
going to be like that.
custardy, creamy, yummy deliciousness.
Thanks for tuning in. I'm going to sign off. Thanks, Ren.
Yeah, my
For
pleasure.
spontaneously YouTube living with
Why
us
not?
here. Living
Why
and jiving.
not?
Yeah, perfect. Okay. Thanks, everyone. Good
Bon
night.
appetit.
There we go. We actually had some people watching.
Too
So, is it here? Take it off. And I don't know.
many buttons. Too many buttons.
Still on?
Yeah. Okay. You don't
Okay.
have to share it with Facebook Live because I already did it.
Okay.
Well,
See.
oh, nice.
There we go. Well, we're turning off.